Hi there, y'all. Today I want to talk about Eden Zero, which is slated to release next month for the PS5, Xbox, and PC. And since it is based upon the animated television show, I went ahead and I did watch the first episode of it over on Netflix because, let's be honest, y'all know me and I don't really watch anime and I never even heard of Eden Zero until this game dropped. But the game actually looks really good, and here I do want to tell you all about my experience with it, and I definitely do think that's totally worth a sub as I try my hardest to level up this year. With your help, your like, and your sub, I just know that I can get there, so thank you so much for that. And now, let me go ahead and get started telling you all about this great action RPG. The game follows Shiki, a guy who just wants to be friends with everybody, and a girl named Rebecca who arrives at Granbell Kingdom on a ship. The opening segment gives a quick summary of the anime's first episode. They fight off the Demon King and escape on Rebecca's ship, headed off to the Blue Gardens Adventurers Guild. It's definitely giving me some Star Ocean vibes with the whole planet-hopping setup. The game itself starts with Rebecca entering the city and then beating the crap out of Shiki. Then some random, and I do mean random, cutscenes happen. Shiki gets shot in the head. Then he wakes up while some girl has a seizure in the shower and then falls through a black hole. Then we're back at Granbell Kingdom. It's a lot, and maybe this all makes sense if you've seen the whole anime, but I was absolutely lost. Eventually, though, you do wake up in some bushes with a haircut that looks like anime's answer to a Cher video from the 1980s. Thank God, Rebecca cuts it. Then you hear about some guy named John who hurt his leg and he can't move. I assume this foresty area is where the full game will properly start. Maybe the spaceship stuff was just kind of like tossed in for the demo. Who really knows? The demo lets you carry your save data into the full game, and all the voice acting is in Japanese. There's no difficulties level selector either. The equipment system is pretty robust. You can get goggles, jackets, gloves, shoes, and multiple accessories. Not just like your typical weapon and accessories setup that we've been seeing lately. There's also a mini-map and a larger overworld map, and your objective is clearly marked. There's also an in-game encyclopedia for tutorials, equipment, and record keeping, which is great if, like me, you're anime illiterate. Combat is straightforward. You can jump, double jump, dash, power attack, and trigger character-specific abilities with the RB button. And for Shiki, that means using gravity to pull enemies closer to you for some melee pummeling. It also works in a cooldown, so you can't spam it, but it is fun to use whenever it's up. When the special skill gauge hits 100%, you can trigger your character's skills with the RT button, and these are built up by pulling off successive combos. There's also perfect dodging, which slows time and lets you land a brutal counterattack. But annoyingly, the game, and even the tutorial, never tells you how to do it. You can roll with the L2 button, and I do think that that's the trick, but why isn't this in the tutorial? Who knows? Also, an important PSA. If you press L3 accidentally, which you will do all the time, you're going to get booted into photo mode. This happens constantly. I don't want to take screenshots of Shiki's bum. I want to dash, slash, and blow shit up. Anyway, soon enough you're thrown right into the action, and you start off randomly plundering a pirate ship. And after beating up the captain, you get the warship called Eden Zero. Then there's a cutscene dump of some random characters that I assume fans of the anime will recognize. Well, meanwhile, I'm sitting there like I missed an entire semester of lectures in college or something. Then after that, you're thrown right back to the start, without the pirate ship that you just got, so again, I'm kind of lost. It seems like it kind of starts over. Rebecca enters the city, she meets up with Shiki, and then the next day she's kidnapped and set for execution, while all the robots who were previously friendly to you are now hating humanity. So Shiki has to fend off the robotic onslaught and rescue Rebecca, and after doing so, you then escape the planet on her spaceship, complete with some cherry blossoms floating through outer space, and Rebecca's plumber crack showing front and center. Someone please tell her, crack is whack. It turns out, though, that the whole Demon King faked the whole robotic betrayal. He just wanted Shiki to leave and live among the humans. He even powered down all the robots afterwards. It's really kind of touching and very heart-wrenching. But anyway, now that he's escaped, it's time to go planet hopping. And each planet is different. Granbell, for example, is literally a giant theme park, and then your next destination, Blue Garden, is a planet full of adventurers. There are shiny resource nodes that you can collect, and they do regenerate over time, and these can be used for cooking and equipment upgrades. Treasure chests also appear on your minimap, which is great, but here's also a gripe. There's a large map, but whenever you exit the large map, it kicks you back to the main menu instead of just back to the gameplay. And the same thing happens with the accidental photo mode that you will be constantly getting into. Let me just say again and reiterate, I never want to take a picture of anything. Why is photo mode tied to L3? It is maddening. Anyway, there's also resting points which autosave the game, fully heal your party, and give you the option to fast travel back to your mothership. Continuing on in Blue Garden, you find out that Rebecca is a beecuber, kind of like a space vlogger or something, and you agree to be her bodyguard. Exploring the town, you will see that NPCs do exist, but you really can't interact with them. They're basically holograms there, and you can walk through them. Not so great for the immersion. Thankfully though, random counters don't exist. Enemies are visible on the field. And the graphics, well, at least in town, they're not awful, but they do kinda look like the graphics in Mega Man Legends back on the PS1. Then you'll come across some invisible blue walls that will block off your path for literally no reason. Again, immersion gone. Elite enemies will pop up now and then with little devil icons over their heads, and they are tough, but they're worth it for the gold and loot, and they often guard locked treasure chests. Boss fights are actually challenging as well. It's not like Soulsborne hard, but it's definitely not Baby's first anime game either. It's like, Secret of Mana regular action RPG difficulty here. Eventually, your cat Happy will get kidnapped, and you have to go out and save him from some machine gun toting maniac named Neppa. Mid-fight though, Happy will transform into dual pistols, kinda like a discount transformer, and Rebecca goes full bitch on wheels mode, as she joins up with your party, specializing in hit and run ranged attacks, and you can now switch between characters in battle using the directional pad. From there, you head on off to planet Norma to search for Mother, which apparently makes for primo B-tuber content. Besides the story mode, there's also an exploration mode, where you can freely roam around all the planets, taking on guild quests and raising up your adventurer rank. You can even fly in this mode, literally soar through space. It's awesome. There's vast fields and deserts, it's all out there. There's a whole lot more meat on the bones of this game than I first expected. All in all, I thoroughly enjoyed my time with the Eden Zero demo. There is a bit of jank here and there, that menu map is annoying and the camera is possessed, but the core gameplay is surprisingly strong, and the systems here are deeper than they do initially appear. This is not just some sort of cheap anime cash grab. There is some real substance here. Rich customization, exciting exploration, and a nice mix of humor and heart. Even if you're not into anime like me, there's still a lot of love in this interstellar adventure. And if the full game keeps this energy going, Eden Zero might just be that JRPG sleeper hit of the year. So that's it for my overview and review of the game for the PS5, Xbox, and PC. But I would love to know what your thoughts on it are, and as well as what your thoughts on the anime are too, and if I should watch the entire series, hey, let me know. And also, if you did like this video, please do smash that like button and subscribe for some more great content. And as always, have a good day.